how often do you tell children, you can scream at a supermarket as loud as you can, it'll be all fine. Ah! So we are going to recap from the third video. So remember, what are you interested in? Like, what do you like? Number 2, what interests does your child have? The last list, remember, is where are the places or locations that is related to that interest. So now you ask yourself, what am I going to do? And I'm going to share with you, what are you going to do with it? I'm going to keep going on with this subject of one with food. I am a foodie. I love food. Cakes, cookies, chocolate, Indian food. Oh, I love Indian food. Mexican food. I love food in general. I love lots of food. I love food. Once I had my locations, I had my supermarkets, and then I wrote them down. I had 5 different types of locations. I then wondered if anyone else has done a supermarket field trip. And then I Googled, typed in field trips at supermarkets or supermarket field trips. Just type in supermarket and field trips, whatever makes sense to you. A field trip at a supermarket? Supermarket field trips? Huh? If you type that up, you'll get your results. I had a few sites that had either blogged about having a field trip at a supermarket, or some schools or some other organizations doing supermarket field trips. And so once I read those articles or read those blogs, or you can even go on YouTube, there's different platforms you can go on. Then you can get ideas what you're looking for. What are you wanting for you and your child first? Don't think about everyone else, because you're going to be interested in what you're doing and for you and your child. So always go by, what are you wanting for you and your child? Can you discover and learn what you're wanting at their location? Me, I was taking myself, my daughter, and a few friends, and I wanted a hands-on experience. So the deli would be good. The produce would be good. Why? Because of senses. You can smell things in there, and you can touch things. I don't know if you should be touching. Okay, so the next one is you can either call the location or email them. Because sometimes you don't know that place before. They frequently do field trips for schools in the community, preschools in the community, homeschool groups. You never know. They give out field trips. And then you let them know. And then they'll ask you, what type of field trip are you after? This is when we have field trips. This is what we usually do for schools. And then you can say yes or no, depending on the ages of the children that you're taking with you. Or you say, yes, but can we modify it? So it's always good to ask. You wouldn't think a supermarket would be a fun place to have a tour, right? We had this field trip at this local supermarket, and Joe organized our tour to visit 3 different departments. So the first department was the produce area. Some cut up pieces of that fruit they were holding or vegetable. They let them taste it, and then they showed them what it looked like before they cut it. And then the children could touch it, hold it, smell it. It was a wonderful experience because A, I didn't have to pay for the fruit and vegetable, and B, I could sample it with it and see if we like it. From the produce, we went to the deli. Couldn't go behind where they were cooking because, you know, the oven's hot and everything's been fried up. But they did talk about it, and you can walk past. The last part of the tour is we went back into the big refrigerators. I think it was the warehouse at the back of the supermarket, and it was so cool. So as we're walking back there, the assistant manager opened up the large refrigerator. They said, oh, when you go back in the freezer room, you can scream as loud as you can. And I was like, what? So you can hear the little kids running, and you know, they're standing there, and the parents are like, ah, and then come out. I have no idea at that time if any of the customers are thinking, I think it's screaming. Like, what is going on? Because I'm standing there, just standing at the back room, cracking up laughing. And I go in, and I didn't scream as loud. And I can't remember if Olivia, she was like, no, I'm standing down here. But it was fun because it was cold. And how often do you get to go in a large, like a walk-in refrigerator, you know, in a storage room and scream as loud as you can with other children. It is hilarious. And you come out, you're like, that's cold, that's cold. At the end of the tour, then the supervisor and manager had created a space where everyone could decorate one plain cookie each, and they gave us different types of frostings and different types of sprinkles, and that was so much fun. You think about supermarket, you're thinking, can it be a fun experience for me and my child? Can we learn something new? You can't. My child is sharing about what she's engaging, what she's learning, what she's discovering, and I'm sharing about what I'm learning, what I'm discovering. And it's so good to hear us do just having, it's not a one-sided conversation. We're actually sharing our experiences. We went to the same location, but yet we got something different from it and our different perspectives. And then we get to share that with the people that we love. So isn't that awesome? Okay, so yes, I'm in my pajamas, and but it's daytime. The house is quiet, and I thought, oh, I just get changed in my pajamas. I just get changed in my pajamas and relax while I'm filming, because that's what you do, right, mums? Like, I don't know what you guys do on Sundays, but I'm like, okay, so thanks for liking and subscribing to my channel. See you guys next Sunday.